Okay, so title for this 10th experiment, it is impact loading on a beam. So here in the beam is a fixed at both ends. Beam is fixed at both ends. We'll call this beam as a fixed beam, and it is subjected to a force at the mid span of the beam. So, and also here the units here, whatever units he has given is he has given in a British unit system, that is Young's modulus in PSI, load in an LBF, length is in feet, maybe cross section area in inches. So like that he has given. So we don't bother whether those units are not. So only thing is whatever units you are taking, those units are should be consistent. That is the only thing we need to follow. So software can solve for any units. So it need not be always newtons and meters. So you can use, that means it need not be always SI unit system. You can solve even other unit systems also problem. Only thing is you need to enter the data as per the given unit system. Right. So here a beam subjected to load, and the load is a impact load. Impact load means suddenly it will apply and suddenly it will remove. So that's what we'll call it as a impact load. In this picture, he has given the profile of the load also. So here at a time t is equal to 0, the load is 0, and then gradually the load is applied at 0.1 milliseconds. Here the time is c. You see, this is scale is milliseconds. So that means 1.1 milliseconds means 1 millisecond means 10 power minus 3 seconds. So into 0.1 means 10 power minus 4 seconds. Within 10 power minus 4 seconds, the load is 0 to 100 LBF. It is changed. So this kind of load, what you can call it as a impact load or transient load. So then again immediately after that it is removed. So that's why we will call it as impact. Then after 0.2 there is no load. So he asked us find out what is the response of this beam for a time up to 5000 milliseconds. Means 5000 milliseconds means up to 5 seconds. What is the response of the beam when the load is applied like this? So for that he has given all the properties. He has given the density of the beam, and also he has given the Young's modulus and Poisson's ratio for the beam, and he has given the description of the beam load also. Load is 100 LBF. From this load you can easily see that. So but only thing is here the load is not a static load. Load is a transient load. Transient means it is changing with time. So when time t is equal to 0, it is 0. When time t is equal to 1 e minus 4 seconds, it is 100. Again, when time becomes 2 e minus 4 seconds, it is 0. Beyond that, again it is 0. So then it is a transient problem. And also he asked us solve if you consider the damping in the beam, what is the response? Without damping, what is the response? Means we need to solve two types of problems. So that means totally we need to solve a transient analysis. We need to carry out a transient analysis for this problem because it is a time dependent problem. So in the software also we need to use a transient analysis to solve this problem. So I'll show you how to do that in the software. Okay, then after that you can practice also. Okay, so that means again there are two solutions. One, first time we'll solve without damping, then we'll solve with damping also.
Without damping.
So we know, so he already stated beam. So we know the selection of the element for a beam element. We already solved some problems where you can use or you can mode beam. So using beam 180 element. So 188 element. So here also we'll take the same that element only, beam 188 element only. So we'll define what is the given quantities, what are the given quantities, we'll define all those things. But only thing here is length here, cross sectional area is given in inches and the length is given in feet. So you need to convert this one is also into inches. That is the only thing. Everything is inches. See, Young's modulus E is PSI means pounds per square inch. That is LB for inch square. So this is also in inches. Even density is also given in inches. So just you need to convert this length is also into inches. So 1 feet is equal to 12 inches. So you will get 36 inches. Length of the beam has 36 inches. Instead of taking it as in feet, we will model in inches. So exactly at the center, it is the load is applied. So then what I will do is while creating the geometry, I'll create this one as minus 18 and this end as plus 18, so that the total length will become 36, and 0 is going to be the where you can apply the load. So that is the easily you can identify the location where you can apply the load that way. Okay.
Okay.
So with this introduction, we'll go to that software and we'll try to solve the problem. Okay, it will take some time to open.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll give the name as impact loading of a beam. So then run. And also one more thing, మీకు గూగుల్ క్లాస్ రూమ్ లో లింక్ ఒకటి పెట్టే కదా స్టూడెంట్ వర్షన్ ఎట్లా డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకొని ఎట్లా ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలనేది.
ఎస్ సార్
చూసావా అది?
లేదు సార్ చూడాలి సార్.
చెయ్యి. బీటెక్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ బీటెక్ స్టూడెంట్స్ వాళ్ళు ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకొని వర్కౌట్ చేస్తున్నారు వాళ్ళు. నీకు సిస్టమ్ ఉంది కదా, నీకు ల్యాప్టాప్ ఉంది కదా, ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకుంటే నువ్వు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయొచ్చు కదా ఇవన్నీ.
ల్యాప్టాప్ ఆగిపోతుంది సార్, దాన్ని చేపించాలి. అందుకే ఇప్పుడు కూడా మీ క్లాసెస్ అన్ని ఫోన్ లోనే వింటున్నా సార్. లేకపోతే ల్యాప్టాప్ యూజ్ చేసేవాడిని.
ఓకే సరే అయితే. సో ఓకే, విల్ come to the problem. So first we'll add the element which is a beam element. So go and add beam element. So beam, you can select 2-node beam element or 3-node beam element. So generally we'll go with the 2-node beam element. I'll select that. Okay, then I need to give the material properties. So for that you need to go for material properties, material models, materials. Model number 1 you need to select. So it is a linear isotropic material, so you need to select linear isotropic material. So for that, whatever Young's modulus he has given, 29 e power 10 power 6, you need to give that 29 e6, and then Poisson's ratio is given as 0.32. 0.32, you enter that 0.32, and density also you need to give density. What is the density value he has given? 0.2836.
Yes sir.
0.2836. Enter those values. Okay. See, whatever you added here, it will come here. Then you can, if you want, you can check also whether you given it properly or not. 29e6 0.32 and density is 0.2836. Okay. So we're done with the material properties. Then we need to define the section also, cross section. Sections for beam, we go for beam, common section. It is a square section. Default is going to be a rectangle only. So only thing is you need to do what is B value, what is H value. That is breadth and height. So 1 he has given 1 by 1. The cross section is given as 1 by 1. So here you need to enter 1 and 1. Then click OK. Okay. So then first we'll create the beam geometry. Then we'll convert the geometry into FE model. So for that, go for create. So beam is represented by line. So first I need to create what are the key points for that beam. Then I'll go for creation of line. Then from that I'll convert that line into a FE mesh. So first I'll create a key points in active coordinate system. First key point, so since the length of the beam is 36 inches, so I'll take the left hand key point is at -18 and the right hand key point is at +18. So therefore the total distance now it is going to be 36. Then I'll join these two key points by straight line. So straight line. So now I have a length having 36 inches. So once you done this, then you need to convert this is the geometry. So to convert this one into FE model, you need to do the meshing. Go for mesh tool. Before that, if you want to set, you can set the number of elements, how many required. So I'll select this line. Let us say if I want to divide this one into 30 elements, so I'll say 30 number. I require 30 elements. So I'll give here number of element divisions is 30. Click OK. Then I'll mesh it. Okay, so it is done. So now if you want, you can check. You have nodes also here. But only important thing here is you have to choose your number of elements such that you should have at least you should have a node at the 0, because why require node at 0? We need to apply the force here. So without node you cannot apply the force here. So that is important. So you can select number of digits as 30 or 40 or 50, whatever it will be. But the node, you should have a node at this location. So in order to get a node at this location, what you need to do is you need to, whatever may be the, you need to get a digit integer value. So when you divide the total length by the number of digits, you should get a integer value. You don't get a fraction. If you get a fraction value, suppose length is 36. If I take 36 by 2 also is okay. So I can divide that one into 36 elements also. I'll get it. But instead of 36, if you take something like a odd number 7, 36 by 7, I won't get any node number at this location for that kind of machine. So you keep that point in mind. Okay, right. So I have converted the geometry into FE model. So then I need to apply the loads and boundary conditions. So for that, first I need to select my analysis type. So here the analysis is transient analysis, not static analysis. So because it is a time dependent, we need to select this. So okay, then what you can do is I can first I will apply the constraints. Whatever constraints are there, I'll apply those constraints. That is, this end and this end is fixed. So I'll apply that constraint first. Apply structural displacement on nodes. Directly I'll use nodes. I'll select both ends. I'll click OK, and I'll do that. Click apply means all degrees of freedom I need to select. So it is fixed. Both ends are fixed. So now I'll go to the solution, and then here I need to define the, obviously earlier I already selected the transient, it will be there, but only thing is I need to define the solution controls now. So that means, see our load, okay, so before set, if you set the conditions before applying the load also, it is okay, no issue, but only thing is you can set even after that also, no issue. So that means first you apply the load, then set the analysis settings or solution controls, that is okay, or set the analysis controls, then apply the load, that is also okay. Anything is okay. So anyway, we'll follow the first one. First I'll apply the load. So define load, apply. I'll go for force, because at this node there is a force on nodes. I need to select this node which is at a bid location. Click OK. So since the force is acting in the vertical direction, I need to take Fy, and its magnitude is 100. Since it is acting downward, I have to take minus 100. Click OK. Okay. So then now what I'll do is I will apply. I'll set the solution controls now. So for this, you need to time at the end of the load step. So here these things will come from this. So if you see here, I have an option small displacement transient analysis. It is okay. So then what you can do is see here, here these details. If I go back to that window again. So here what you need to do is you need to write what is the time at the end of the load step. That means at what time the load will end. So that is, if I take that one as a first load step here, so the load is from this point to this point, 100 newtons is at 0.1 seconds. So therefore I need to take the time at the end of the load step as 0.1 milliseconds, which is nothing but 1e minus 4.
4, okay sir.
So 1e minus 0.1 into e minus 3 or 1e minus 4, any one is okay. So then how many number of steps you need to consider in the time? So that is our choice. So if it is during this time period, how many sub steps I need to consider? I can give it 20, 30 or whatever number I can give it. But only thing is, if you increase the number of steps, it will take more time to solve. That is the only thing. But your solution accuracy may be increasing. So, and here you need to take that, you need to write the load results for every sub step. So these are the important things. You need to consider all these things. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right. So Here we are first we are solving without damping. Suppose if you want to solve with damping, see here you can see here you have a damping coefficients are there. So mass multiplier and stiffness multiplier. So since he has given that damping for the beam, so we'll use this option stiffness multiplier. Here we'll give that value. But right now it is undamped problem, so I'll keep these two as zeros. And also here, what type of loading it is, whether it is step load or ramp load, I need to specify that also. See here, the load is gradually increasing. This kind of load, what we'll call, whether it is step load or ramp load?
Step load.
Or a step load at the step la undali kadara.
Okay, sir.
What is step load?
Step la undali.
Ante enti atonda the step load. So you'll get something like this. If you have load vibrations అదే కదా, this is step load. Unit step అని చేసాం కదా మనం. This is step load. Even ramp load గురించి కూడా చెప్పాం. If it gradually it is increases, we'll call it as a ramp load. So
okay, sir.
So what I need to do is I need to select that option.
Ramp load.
So ramp load we need to select. Okay. So that's it. So these are the settings we need to do it. So once done that, see here, this is it is not over. So only this is only the first load step. So then I need to define after the time 1e minus 4, I need to remove the load, or gradually I need to decrease the load from 100 to 0. After that I need to remove the load completely. So for that what I do is, so this whatever conditions I defined here, I'll select that one as a first load step. So therefore what I do is I'll write this entire load step details to the first load step. So here if I click this one load step options, what I'll do is I'll write ls file. So here I'll give the load step number 1, then I'll click OK. So that means whatever load details I written now, I applied to the beam now, it is written into that file. So whenever if I call that load step, it will apply those loads to this beam and it will solve it. Okay, so that means the total analysis I divided into 3 load steps. First is the load is increasing from 0 to 100. So that I defined. Next is the load is decreasing from 100 to 0. So next I need to define that one. So for that, what I do is already up to 1e minus 4, I applied a load of 100 lbf. So now it should be decreased. So that means what is the final value of the load? It is 0. So that means this load I need to remove for the second load step. So then what I'll do is I'll go for again define loads. Then now instead of using apply, I'll go for delete structural force on nodes. I'll select this node and click OK. So then I'll delete this F5 only, then click OK. So now I remove that load. So because at the end of the second load step, the load is 0. That's why I remove the load here. So now I'll define the load step options now. So again, here under solution controls, now under basic tab, what I need to do is, what is the now the end of the load step? 2e minus 4.
Yes, sir.
If you see that figure here, so it is 0.2 milliseconds. 0.2 milliseconds means it is 2e minus 4 only. So I'll keep these things as the same. And similarly, here I'll use only ramp load, means from 100 to it is changing to 0. Okay. So then I'll write this load step also now. So then write load step. Now I'll give this number as 2. This is the second load step. Click OK. So then I'll go for the next one, that is third load step. That means beyond 0.2 seconds. If you see that picture again, beyond 0.2 loads, there is no load at all. So therefore, only thing is, so I'll take the time step. I'll take the time between 0.2 to 5000 milliseconds, means 5 seconds. So I'll define the third one also. So again, I'll go for solution controls. Now, what is the end of the load step? Now it is 5 seconds.
Yes, sir.
5000 milliseconds means 5 seconds I can take it.
5 seconds.
Since here the time is large, so I'll increase this number of sub-steps also. Earlier 1e minus 4 time. Now it is 5 means, so I'll increase some number of load steps here, like this. So anyway, whether you select ramped or stepped or nothing, because you are not applying any load, it is not going to be influence your solution. You keep this one as default. Then click OK. Then what you need to do is, again, you need to write this load step also, right? ls file, ls means load step file. So it is, now I'll enter it as 3. So I created 3 load steps. Now I need to apply those 3 load steps to this beam and I need to solve it. So to solve that, what I need to do here is, I need to go for solve here. So far what we done is, we are using this option, current load step. So instead of solving for the current load step, now I have to use this option from ls files. ls means load step files. So I written the 3 load step files. I'll call those 3 load steps for this solution of this problem. I'll click it. Then it is asking for what is the starting load step number. That is 1. So we start with 1. And what is the ending load step? So we define 3. So I'll give the ending as 3. Increment is 1. So because we define it as 1, 2, 3. Instead of 1, 2, 3, if I say define 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, 2, 4, something like that. So then I'll give the load step increment as 2, something like that. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So now see here, now it is apply the load and it is solving for the first load step. So it is done. Okay, so it is done. So now once it is done, then what you need to do is, you need to go for the results, post processor, to see the results. So for that, we need to go for again time history post processor. So in the time history post processor, I want to see the response is where it is maximum. So y displacement I'll select. I'll select the exactly the load where I am exactly the node where I am applying the load. I'll click OK. If I plot it, see it is going to be something like this. So the load is change. See, you can see the response from 0 to 5 seconds. 0 to 5 seconds. The behavior is going to be like this. So if you recall, even in our vibration course also, we already solved this kind of problems. So here it is going to change something like this. Okay, so you need to take a picture of this, graph of this, then and you need to put that into your record. So this is okay. Or else, okay, while adding the results, so this is the response, real component I have taken. See, it is almost symmetric, right? About the mean position, about GF0, it is symmetric because it is a vibratory product, a transient vibration. Because of impact load, what is the response means, you are going to get something like this. Still, it is not come to rest. So because why it won't come to rest? There is no damping. We are not considering any damping to the problem. Okay, so now if I consider the damping, what should be the response? So that also I need to see. So for that, what I need to do is, I will finish it, or else I'll save this, then I'll finish it. Then again, so we need to define the damping for the 3 load steps. So we are carrying out the analysis in the 3 load steps. So you need to define the damping for the 3 load steps so that you can get the solution for damping solution for all the 3 steps. So for that, again, what you need to do is, you need to go for define loads, then apply. Okay, so first what I'll do is, I'll go for the model which is having nodes and elements. I'm plotting this now. Okay, then what I'll do is, first I'll delete the loads here. If any loads are there, I'll delete all those things. Delete force or moment on nodes. I'll select okay, this node. Then I'll delete OK. So now everything is removed. So now what I do is, I'll define the load steps. So similarly, so in the previous case, what we did is, we do the same thing, but only thing is now we need to input the additional parameter, which is damping. So now again we'll apply the force. Apply force on node. You need to select the first one. Click OK. Okay, you verify that whether the node number is 17 or not. That is important. Exactly at the center you have a 17 node. So then Fy is okay. 100 is -100. That is okay. Then I need to go for analysis type, then solution controls. So now what I'll do is, already I defined the 3 load steps up to 5 seconds. Okay.
Sir.
Now what I'll do is I'll define this load step as a load step 4. Then what is the time I need to consider? So actually first load step time is 0.1 milliseconds. So I'll add that 0.1 to this one. So then what I'll get is 5.1.
Okay.
No, 5.1. 5 plus 1e minus 4. That means I cannot enter that here. Okay, I'll see that. I'll calculate it. Calculator. So 1e minus 4. 1e minus 4. Or as 0.1 milliseconds. 0.1 divided by 1000. So plus 5. So 5.0001 I need to give it here. Time at the load step is 5.0001. So I'll give the load steps as 20 only because the time duration is only 0.1 milliseconds. I'll give this one like this. So then I'll keep all other settings remain same. Then in the transient, so here the loading should be ramp load. So in the here in the stiffness matrix multiplier, you need to input whatever damping factor he has given. Structural damping. See, clearly it mentioned it as a structural damping. So therefore it is stiff. It comes as stiffness. I'll give 0.005 here. 0.005.
5.
Okay. So then I'll click OK. Now I'll write this one as a load step. So write load step. Now I'll give it as 4 instead of 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is already defined. So now I'll go to the 4. Okay. Then I need to remove this load to define the next load step. I'll go for define loads, delete, force on nodes. You need to select that 7th node, click OK. So you need to delete Fy. Okay. Then you need to set again your solution controls. So in the solution under basic tab, now your time is another. You need to add again 0.1 milliseconds to that. It is going to be 5.002. I'll keep all these things same. Even these are also same, right? So now I'll write this load step also. Load step options. Write ls file. Now I'll give it as 5. Then I need to define the last load step. So for that, no need to delete anything here because we already deleted the load. So no need to do that. Again, I'll go for solution controls. Now the time should be, I need to add 5 more seconds to this. So then what happens? How much it will become? It will become 10 seconds. It become 10 seconds. So I'll take this one as 200 and 200 here. All other key things are remain same. So this will be remain same. Okay. Then what you need to do is, again you need to write this load step also. Write load step. Now it is 6. Okay. So
సార్ 5.0002 కి ఇంకో 5 సెకండ్స్ యాడ్ చేస్తే 10.0002 కాదా సార్?
5 seconds ఎక్కడ యాడ్ చేస్తున్నాం మనకు? ఒక్క నిమిషం ఉండు. I'll explain you. See here, this is our load step, right?
Yes sir.
So first problem మనం సాల్వ్ చేసేదానికి this is the time, right?
Yes sir.
ఇది ఇక్కడికి వస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ ప్రాబ్లం స్టార్టింగ్ టైం ఇది కదా?
Yes sir, 0.
సో 0 కాకుండా ఏం చేసాం మనం? ఇక్కడ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఆల్రెడీ ఇక్కడ సాల్వ్ చేసాం. ఎందుకంటే 5 సెకండ్స్ వరకు ఆల్రెడీ మనం లోడ్ స్టెప్స్ డిఫైన్ చేసాం కాబట్టి మళ్ళా లోడ్ స్టెప్ 1 ఇవ్వతే ఏంటంటే ప్రాబ్లం ప్రీవియస్ ప్రాబ్లం లోకి వెళ్తుంది కాబట్టి అది దాన్ని మార్చడం కోసం ఏం చేసాం మనం? ఇక్కడ నుంచి కౌంట్ చేస్తున్నాం టైం. సో ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ ఎంత? 0.1 milliseconds అంతేనా?
Yes sir.
అది దీనికి యాడ్ చేయాలి. దీనికి యాడ్ చేస్తే ఎంత అవుతుంది?
5.001.
ఇది ఈ టైం ఎంత వస్తుంది అంటే ఈ 5000 అనేది ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ షిఫ్ట్ అయింది నీకు.
ఓకే సార్.
సో 5 seconds నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం మనం. 0 నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేయకుండా మనం 5 seconds నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో 5 seconds నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేసామంటే ఇది ఎండ్ టైం ఎంత అవుతుంది? 10 seconds ఏనా?
10 seconds. Yes sir.
మొత్తం డ్యూరేషన్ 5 seconds కదా?
Yes sir.
So that's why you have to take 10, 10.002 కాదు, అర్థమైందా?
ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్ సార్.
Right. So again we'll solve this. Go for solve from load step files. Now what you need to give is 4 to 6 you need to give. 4 to 6, increment is again 1 only. 4, that means it will solve for 4th, 5th and 6th load steps. Click OK. So don't bother about those warning messages which are displayed during the solution. You click OK. So now it is solved. So again I'll go for the time history post processor to plot the response. So I want to see whether there may be any. Okay, you need to select the same node, that is 17. See what is the difference between. You want to see what is the difference between those things. So you are getting something like this. See here at this time points. So obviously this is the first response we are not considering. So you have to consider only from this point onwards. That is from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. You need to consider the solution. See, you can see that it is because of damping, it is gradually decreasing and goes to 0. After some time, it goes to 0. So therefore, this is the response. So if you want, you can reduce the time point, then you will get a better response curve also. So you can, if you want, if you don't want to plot this 0 to 5 seconds, that you can set in your settings also. Here you can set it, or else if you want, you can show it something like this. You can keep like this also, no issue. If you want to set that, so what I can do here is go for style. Under this you have a graphs. You can go for modify axes. So specified range, you can see here x-axis range. So you need to select it as 5 to 10. Then click OK. So then replot it. See, now you can see the response is from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. So you can see that, you can clearly see the damped response. So it is oscillating. So the amplitude is gradually decreasing and it goes to 0. So only within 0.5, okay, not 0.5 seconds, maybe at this point. Within 6 point, it is in between 6 and 6.5. So around 6.25 seconds. That means from 5 seconds. That means within 1.25 seconds, the response is died out. Okay, you take this and you put this one into your record. So that's it. That's what we need to do. Okay. So only thing is we are done the harmonic analysis, not harmonic analysis. It is a transient analysis only. That is that too when a beam is subjected to impact loading. When if you consider damping or without damping, what is the response? We have seen those things. So you need to plot those two curves. That is the thing. That is the only. So from this you can see that what is the maximum amplitude and what, if you want, you can plot the phase angle also. That also you can do that. So that phase angle also you will get from this time history post processor only. Here it is already there. So now this is y displacement. Okay. So here we are taken only the magnitude only. So okay, no issue. We can take that also. Only magnitude is sufficient for us. So phase angle we don't bother about that also. So it's okay. So this is the solution. So this is how you need to solve that.
Okay, sir.
Cheyagalava?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll stop the recording.